awesome.
Number 2. That's right. Wow. You want to call it a monologue? I'm just deciding I'm going to share my story about how the Sunset Beach song got started. There was this guy, Willie, Coconut Willie, that he called himself. He wore one of those hats that was made from a banana leaf, woven leaf hat. And he was a big guy, and he kind of looked like Coconut Willie, the image of Coconut Willie that is at the bar, Coconut Willie's in Waikiki, kind of had that look. And he nurtured it, and he worked it for all it's worth. Willie was the first person I ever met on Sunset Beach, and it happened to be on my first visit there that I met him. He was sitting under this palm tree, which it was his regular spot. The palm tree is referred to as the One Tree, and Willie and his friends owned that spot. The One Tree also is referred to as the Miracle Tree because it was pushed over at one point sometime in its life, and it still lives, and it sort of lays, the trunk of it is laid down a bit. Anyway, the first day that I walked down towards the ocean and looked around for a place to sit and stretch a bit before going for a swim, Willie was alone there, so there was plenty of shade for me to sit in without seeming to intrude upon his privacy. So, of course, Willie immediately struck up a conversation with me, and before long, more of his friends started showing up and eventually turned into a party. I was soon to discover this was a daily event in Willie's world. Willie and I soon became kind of friends, and my regular trips to Sunset Beach almost always included a beer and a smoke and a chat with the big guy. Of course, there was a whole host of other characters that I had no choice but to get to know as a result of getting to know Willie, and it was just another average evening with that group which first inspired my song Sunset Beach. Willie and the caveman were in the middle of one of these typical arguments. If you ever knew the caveman, you knew how long and tedious these arguments could be. I was sitting there with my guitar, and Willie was trying to shut Cave the hell up so he could listen to me play, but Caveman was unrelenting, and soon I just started singing, "There's always drama on Sunset Beach," and I heard Willie say to Cave, "Because you're acting like an asshole." So I immediately sang, "Somebody acts like an asshole, but then they smoke a little weed and then go surfing," and everybody laughed, and by the time the evening was through, I had the first verse of the song. I then wrote a new verse about every week until I had it finished, and each time I had a new verse, I tried it out on everyone both at Sunset Beach and at the Monday open mic at Anna Bananas, and it seemed to always get a great response. So there you have it. There's one verse I wrote about Terry Lamb. I don't know if anybody's heard of him, but I hardly ever include it because I want Willie and his arguing with Caveman to be the only reference in the song in which I name the person to which I refer. But that's the story of how Sunset Beach song got.
New breast implants, you could be a Japanese tourist in a stretch limo, Humvee, or a paranoid schizophrenic homeless woman shouting insults at me and all my drama on Sunset Beach. Well, you two can be an asshole. Just be sure to bring plenty of weed and don't forget to go surfing and drink at least 140 of beer. Yeah, I think you may just like to end up here in my big drama on Sunset Beach. Well, the whole world is full of assholes, but that's why God created weed. So when you're surfing and drinking one more 40 of Mickey's malt liquor beer, don't you know it's Sunset Beach every day?